Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Toon 215, and right now we're in the state of Pennsylvania. We're currently in the city of Philadelphia. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the Frankford neighborhood. Right now we're on the Blue Line train. We're going to get off at the Frankfort terminal. This is the Frankford Transportation Center.
Doors are open.
So we're exiting the Frankford Transportation Center right now as we speak. It's about 85 degrees right now. We're taking the escalator. I have no idea what that voice recording said, but we're gonna walk down this escalator. It feels good in here, nice and cold, nice and cool. They got the air conditioner on. So most of the business that are here, they're closed. It's Friday. This was documented on a Friday. So we just exited the Frankford Transportation Center. This is the last stop on the Blue Line. This is lower northeast Philadelphia. We're gonna cross the street and we're gonna approach Granite Street. So we're at Frankford, at the intersection of Frankford and Granite. You have a Rainbow, a Snipes, Wine and Spirits, Metro by T-Mobile. You have the bus over here. So you can catch a lot of buses here and or trains. So right now we're in the Frankford Hood. Now the Frankford Hood is lower northeast Philadelphia. If we continue moving forward, we'll end up heading towards the Roosevelt Boulevard and head towards northeast Philadelphia, deeper in northeast. But we're just gonna walk this area. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I have over 1,800 videos on this channel. Over 500 of them are tours covering Philadelphia, PA. Both walking and driving. All different corners of the city. Right now we're on the 5200 block of Frankford Avenue. So that's where we just exited from. You can see the transportation center. We have a little Winnebago Class C camper on my left. We just passed this Church's Chicken. I remember when I was younger, we used to call it Churchies. But it's not Churchies, it's Churches. Like a church, apostrophe S, Churches. You got a Walgreens on our left-hand side. It's nice and sunny. We got pretty clear skies. Supposed to be a beautiful weekend. Right now we're at the intersection of Bridge and Dara. Bridge and Dara. We're now approaching Lesher, L-E-S-H-E-R, Lesher Street, the 5300 block of Lesher. We're in a residential neighborhood. We have mixed housing. We have houses with lawns on my right hand side. You can see they have a lawn, 2-story home. On my left, they don't have a lawn. They have porches. Some of them have open porches, some of them have closed porches. Now, Frankfurt is home of the Frankfurt slasher that did take place in Frankfurt's history. You can learn more about it if you Google Philadelphia Frankfurt slasher. If you want to learn more about that story, it was a serial killer that took advantage back in the day, before all the heavy forensic technology and all that stuff kicked in. There's probably still a lot of people out there who committed crimes, but because technology wasn't as developed as it is today, you know, they're still able to get away scot-free. We're at Bridge and Duffield, or Duffield. Duffield, it sounds weird. Bridge and Duffield, next to the 25, 26, 73, 84, 400 series bus stop. So we're on Bridge and Duffield. I'm gonna probably go one more block forward and then we'll make a right. We're just randomly walking. I have no set point of destination, no space in specific that I want to visit. Just gonna walk around, feel the ambience, see what it feels like on a Friday. All right, we're approaching Hawthorne Street. We're at Bridge and Hawthorne. I'm gonna make a right. We're gonna start heading southbound. In front of us is eastbound. Behind me, westbound. On my right, southbound. On my left, northbound. So we're gonna start heading southbound. Yeah, I saw something about I forgot, I think it was on the History Channel. There was an older gentleman in his 90s that just came clean with over, I think, did he have over 80 murders, 90 murders? I don't know. This older gentleman, he looked so fragile, but evidently he wasn't as fragile as he looked. He was responsible for, I believe, over like 70, 80 murders, and they were mainly all women, like prostitutes and all of that stuff. And the thing was that he went from state to state to state. He went in with the different states so that they didn't link him to the same crime. And he was doing it over a span of, 40, 50 years, because he was, I think he came clean around his like late 70s or 80s. Like, he ended up confessing. I don't know, maybe he got euphoria off of taking responsibility, but they were saying in the documentary that he knew every detail to how he took those women's lives. He knew where he put the remains. Like, he can recall specific details, and they showed that he got like a kick out of it. He had like a smirk on his face, Yeah, I saw that. They recommended it to me. And he was a savage, because not only did he become, or not become, because he was already a killer, a serial killer, his son ended up, I think, strangling a woman. So it basically ran in the family, you know what I mean? All right, let's make this right. Let's zigzag a little bit, because Frankfurt, you have the west side of the L and you got the east side of the L. They're both parts of Frankfurt, but you got two different like vibes, two different feels. And right now we're in like upper Frankfurt. We can walk towards lower Frankfurt and be in a whole nother area. So we're just gonna try to walk as much as we can within the hour given. Check out this Statue of Liberty. You see that? Pretty interesting. All right, we're at Pratt and Duffield, or Duffield. I'm gonna make this a left. I'm gonna make a quick left on Duffield, and then I'm gonna probably make like a quick right, just because I'm trying to play around with the mapping. All right, we're approaching the 1600 block of East Conklin Street, and now I'm gonna make a right. There you go. Take like a nice little block that y'all ain't never get a chance to really take in before. These are the blocks that don't get a lot of attention, but they still make up Philadelphia, you know what I mean? So what it looks like is is trash day. So during trash day, different neighborhoods in the city have different days of the week. I believe trash day runs from Monday through Saturday. I think Sundays they're off. I could be wrong. They might be off Saturdays too, but I think they work Saturdays. Sundays is when they're off. So every neighborhood gets its own trash day. So when it's a trash day, they put their trash out and it looks like this. So these row homes are paired up in pairs of two. Look at this on my left for sale. 1656 is for sale. This was Cochran, right? Cochran? Oh, Conklin. I said Cochran. Cochran. Wasn't there John, what's his name? Johnny Cochran? Wasn't he like a famous lawyer? Johnny Cochran. They said that if you had Johnny Cochran, you could beat anything. All right, so we're passing the 1600 block of Conklin. Conklin. What a name. Now, to my understanding, some areas of Frankfurt back in the day were reserved for the more prominent and prestigious residents of Philadelphia. We're on Dyer. I'm going to continue going straight. We're on Dyer and Dara. I'm going to make this right. We're going to walk straight towards the train again. And we're going to play with both sides. We're just going to zigzag, cross the L, then go to the opposite side as we're working our way down south. Now, as I've mentioned before, I've covered this neighborhood plenty of times in different years, different weather scenarios, different times of day, and different modes of transportation, both silent and narrated. So if you don't want to hear me, you don't choose to turn down the volume, you can always watch a silent tour of the area. This is my updated walking tour for 2022 of the Frankfurt neighborhood. So as you can see, there's sidewalk that you're able to walk through with ease. Now, I know some Philadelphia residents, Jersey residents, concrete jungle residents in general are asking themselves, Toon, why are you telling us about the sidewalk? Well, believe it or not, after traveling 48 states here in the United States of America, I got a chance to see many blocks which didn't have sidewalks, or did have sidewalks, or had little teeny weeny skinny sidewalks, or had medium sidewalks, or had sidewalks lined with grass, or had different variations of sidewalks. And some neighborhoods didn't have sidewalks at all. So you had to walk in the street. So I point out those little details because sometimes we take things like that for granted. Having a sidewalk. You go to the country, you don't have sidewalk. You have to walk on the highway. All right, so we're back at Frankfurt. There's a sign right there. It says Historic Frankfurt, but it got graffiti on it. So we were over there. We were down there in that direction, but we walked through a couple blocks. So this used to be a 7-Eleven. I guess it closed down. I've been there on an occasion or two. So right now, we're on the west side of Frankford Avenue, right under the train, the Blue Line train. We're on the west corridor. We just came from the east corridor. Now, I think the west corridor is the area that had the better looking houses. Remember earlier, I was telling you, back in the day, Frankfurt was reserved for more prominent figures. Well, you can tell because the houses, they look a lot cooler. For example, like this one right here in the corner. Look at that. See what I'm talking about? We're on Griscom. That's dope, right? Tell me that ain't a dope property. It's pretty cool. They have a lot of cool architecture. It's like an interesting 3-story shape. Looks like it was originally a 2-story, and then they went and then they added the 3rd story.
It's not hard. It's easy for it, and I'm not saying it's hard.
Passing some hedges. Some people opted out for hedges rather than fencing. All right, so right now we're approaching the hospital. There's a hospital right here. I think it used to be called something else. I think it was once called Frankford Hospital, if I'm correct. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. But now it's called Jefferson Health. Jefferson Frankford Hospital. I don't know if Jefferson took over it. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. But I know this hospital's been here for quite some time. All right, let's make one more right, go off one more block, and then cross back around to the eastern corridor. So as you can see from afar, these houses got a lot more going on as far as architecturally speaking. The shapes, the additions, the rooms, the amount of windows. You can tell that these houses were bigger than the ones that we saw on the other side, on the eastern corridor, which we'll be visiting shortly once again. Let's make this left on the 4900 block of Penn. Now, don't get the quiet looks twisted. Don't let it deceive you. Frankfort has a tough reputation for being one of Philadelphia's worst neighborhoods as far as crime rates go. There's still shootings regularly. There's still crimes that happen on a regular basis. I've had viewers who are from this neighborhood who would comment and let us know that they would hear shooting throughout all hours of the night. But as you can hear right now, we hear the crickets. We hear the chirping. It's in an odd shape in that porch. Look at this. This looks like it was probably some sort of boarding school or something. It wasn't an apartment. Now let's cross back over. When we get to the corner, we're gonna make a left. And we're gonna cross back over Frankfort. Yeah, there was an incident once where right under the L referring to the train, the bus driver was operating a bus, the Septa bus, and somebody started shooting at the Septa bus. Yeah, I don't know if the driver was hit, one of the passengers was hit, I don't know. But I know that was about 1.5 years ago. We're on Harrison, Penn and Harrison Street, the intersection of Penn and Harrison. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn on the 1500 block of Harrison. Yeah, so that happened. I think not too long ago, there was a, oh snap, look at 6x9s. Yeah, you be booming with some Roadmaster speakers. I think not too long ago. Wow, this is pretty nice. Pretty clean, right? I think the Septa police officers, somebody shot at them. Yeah, people crazy like that. People do crazy stuff. All right, so we're walking by the Frankford hospital they got right here on our left. We're approaching the 4800 block of Frankford Ave. So this is about less than 10 minutes away from Kensington and Allegheny. For those of you guys who are wondering, it's only about 4 train stops away. I would say 3 to 4 train stops away. You can actually take that train and go right to Kensington and Allegheny. There's the ambulance entrance for the hospital. Somebody got road rage beeping. For rent. There's a property for rent right here on my left hand side, 1609. So right now we're back on the eastern corridor, basically east of Frankford Avenue. You got a house for sale across the street. The address is 1632 and a half Harrison Street, Philadelphia, PA 1913. Oh, I was gonna say 33. I don't even know if it's 33. It could be 34, could be 44, could be 48. I don't know what the actual zip code is here. But you gotta make sure to inquire about 1632 and a half. Gotta put the half. If not, you're probably gonna get the wrong listing. So we're at Dara, Harrison and Dara. So there's not that much debris in the area. Not that much trash, other than the trash you've seen out front of people's houses. There is some, chip bags, some bottles and whatnot. But it's not too bad compared to some areas. The houses in the Frankford neighborhood are very mismatched. Stylization wise, like there's no one zoning code in this area. They're all mixed up. And that might have something to do with, I know Northeast, a lot of it was farmland. A lot of acreage, a lot of open land. So I don't know if that had to do with the development of this neighborhood. If they just randomly developed at different times and started adding all these odd buildings. For example, that one right there is beautiful. That one right there is fantastic. I like that a lot. I like everything about it. It's nice, right? It's just in the Frankford neighborhood. You got some garages over here. I mean, for the most part, if you go to work, you mind your business, you come out, you do your thing, you should be all right. And anything can happen to you anywhere. So don't let me or anyone deter you from moving to where you want to move to. Yeah, some areas got rougher statistics than others, but if you're a homebody, you should be all right. Unless you're that one very rare incident that the bullet goes through the dining room window while the person's eating supper. That's happened a few times. Yep, that's happened where people have been in the house eating and a bullet goes through the window. the Barron Window or whatever. We're at Harrison and Duffield or Duffield. I could have walked up like a whole nother block and we could continue unlocking more of the Frankfort neighborhood. But let me walk this way. Maybe we'll make a right at the corner and then, no, we'll make a left at the corner to make a right, then to make another right and go back towards the L. Now there's a lot more blocks on my left and there's a lot more blocks on my right, but I'm only human. I'm not a machine, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not like I'm able to cover each and every single square mile within the hour, but I try to show y'all what I can show y'all within the hour. That's why I always refer to the other tours that I've covered of the area. Because if I miss a block today, that you're like, man, Toon, you almost went through my block. You never know if in one of my other Frankfurt tours, I probably went through your block. So we're passing the 1600 block of Fillmore. Hollywood collision, quality is key. That's the side with the shade. I'm about to go to the side with the shade. All right, so let's cross the street here. It's an automotive business, so the automotive businesses usually have a lot of vehicles on their property, including, but not limited to, their sidewalk. Oh snap, look at that. That's an air conditioner compressor. That's an AC compressor from a car. Those things ain't cheap. Oh, look at that house. That house is falling apart. See it? The one on the corner? That thing is condemned. We're on Folk Ride. Duffield and Folk Ride. I'm gonna make this left on Folk Ride. We got a pair of jumper cables right here. Those come in handy for when you need to jump. What? Listen. When you need to jump, you're gonna wish you had some jumper cables. Look at this bright yellow car. Wow, it looks like it was probably a taxi. It's supposed to be a nice weekend here in Philadelphia. Supposed to be breezy weather. And I'm loving this type of weather. This is like fall weather. I'm looking forward to when it's like 60s, you know, sweater weather. Nice, cool zip up. You put on a little zip up cover overall jacket or something of that nature. Something quite similar. Yeah, put on one of those windbreakers. The real thin jackets. Put on a hoodie. Now you can walk around with a hoodie. You had people when it was 110 degrees outside walking around with a hoodie and a ski mask. Bro, it's 110 degrees outside. What are you protecting your face from? The sun? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I should be protecting my face from the sun. Sheesh. I remember I saw homie had a sweater, some long pants, a ski mask, a scully on top of the ski mask, and a book bag. And I'm like, yo, in my head, like, bro. And I'm in the air conditioner, I'm still hot. All right, we're on Hawthorne and Margaret. We're gonna make a right on Margaret. So we're gonna walk westbound back towards Frankfort. Look, like we got two students on my left-hand side across the street. They got the khakis and the blue shirt. It's the school year, so now you're gonna start to see kids commute to and from school. We start to get that worst rush hour traffic, the 8 a.m. rush hour, 8 to 9, then the 3 p.m. rush hour, which is school time, 3 to 4, then the 5 to 6 p.m. rush hour, which is after work. You get all these different periods of rush hour. But I know the kids add a whole new dynamic to it because you got school buses and all that stuff. I we're in Dewfield and Margaret.
Well, he's sweet like his dad.
All right, so we're about 2 blocks shy of Frankfort, 2 blocks, and we'll be back on Frankfort. We passed, I would say, about a half a dozen abandoned houses, similar to this. Look at the crown on those houses across the street. You see the crown on those? See how they got like a roundness? They kind of meet with the other roof, and they have like little windows. 2 of the windows are broken. Yeah, my boy pulling a big load. Pulling a big load with the super dually. Is he turning this way? What is he up to? All right, so right now we're approaching Frankfort Ave. This is gonna be the intersection of Frankfort and Oxford. This is actually a whole other little terminal, a little station that you can, I believe you come here, you wait for the bus, you can go to Franklin Mills, or what's now called the Philadelphia Mills. But we've waited here once or twice when I was a kid. I was in my younger years. And you can actually see students with backpacks and stuff. Oh, look at that art installation that's up there. See the art installation on the corner? So strange. It's an odd place to put it. All right, I'm gonna cross here. So we're crossing on Frankford Ave. We're now approaching Oxford Ave. This is another train stop. There's a couple businesses here, Chinese store and whatnot, little convenience store, quickie marts and all that stuff. I'm gonna cross the street when we get to the corner. Oh, I'm tempted to stay on this side because I see a Honda Del Sol on this side and I kind of want to see what it looks like. I'm kind of tempted to take a look at it. All right, we're approaching Griscom. This is the Honda Del Sol. This was supposed to be the predecessor from the CRX. They discontinued the OG second generation CRX body in 1991. In 1992 and 93, they gave us this, the Honda Del Sol, which means the sun. It's a two-seater. It was supposed to be a competitor to the Miata. I love this car right here. The hard top comes off. It's only a two-seater, but I would prefer a stick shift, a nice factory one, stock, preferably right-hand drive. Oh, and then we sitting on some cake. So we're right around the corner from Frankford High School. It's actually about another block up. It's gonna take us off our little zigzag path we had going on there. Remember when I was like going eastbound and going westbound and crossing over? Right now we're walking back north. So we're walking back like 2 or 3 blocks. So in order to show y'all this school or this block, it's literally gonna take me backtracking maybe a half a dozen blocks. All right, we're approaching Penn Street. But this is all the Frankford neighborhood. So, I mean, I guess it's good for y'all to see it. So you got some small like apartment buildings over here on my left. I'm not sure if that's affordable housing, if it's a private entity that rents out those units. But we're gonna cross here on Leaper. This is the 4800 block of Leaper. We're gonna make a left on Harrison. My mom used to live on Harrison before. Now, if you know my story, or if you've heard of it lightly, I didn't grow up with my mom. My pop raised me. But on occasion, throughout my lifetime, I would visit my mom, and she would move to different areas of Philly. This was one of the blocks she had a house on. We just passed the Carver Hall Gardens over here on my left-hand side. There's a lot of apartments over here. Then you got some houses right here on this block. This is the block my mom lived on once. And I actually had siblings that went to the school. So they should have never ever been late because they lived across the street. Hello. So my mom lived on this side. She lived here probably for like all of maybe 2 years, maybe 3. I would probably say more like 2 to 3. I remember one time I was supposed to sleep over. I didn't want to sleep over. I ended up leaving in the middle of the night, like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, walking from here back down to Kensington. Walking. Yeah, she lived, which house was it? It might have been this one. It might have been this one. Mind you, when she lived here, I was like 19, 20. I'm 34 now. So that was a long time ago. But, yeah. All right, we're approaching Oakland, the intersection of Harrison and Oakland. All right, we're gonna make this left-hand turn on Oakland. What's up? What's up? Yeah, somebody just drove by. Where the video at? Where the video at? I said, what's up? All right, right now we're at the intersection of Oakland and Fillmore. Oakland and Fillmore. So now we gotta walk back. Remember I was telling you earlier that I'm gonna have to walk back a half a dozen blocks just to get back towards the L. But it's cool. I just wanted to show y'all that little block right there. All right, Oakland and Folk Ride. We're gonna continue walking up the 4700 block of Oakland. We'll probably walk another block or two and then we'll make a left to try to finesse our way back to Frankford Ave. Right now we're east of Frankfurt, east of the L. Look at that. Looked like there was a house that probably caught on fire or something.
You know where I'm moving?
Yeah, little driveways. Check it out. All right, right now we're at Arrett, the intersection of Oakland and Arrett. We're coming off of the 4700 block of Oakland. We're gonna make this left on 1300 Arrett. There's a train stop too that has that same name, Arrett. So I'm gonna pan around a little bit so you can see the variation of properties, the style. It look like they're working on one over there. See it? We're approaching Pilling, like uphill, or glass that I just tripped over. Pilling. Yeah, I literally just tripped over broken glass. Probably not the best thing to trip over, huh? Look at this. All right, we're passing Pilling. This is the 4600 block of Pilling. And we're walking eastbound. walking eastbound towards Frankfurt, trying to get back to Frankfurt Terminal. We're passing a bunch of apartments. These are all apartments. I think it's affordable housing, to be specific. We're approaching Leaper Street. Reminds me of Lemur. It looks like they got the bus running on the electric line here. If you look up, you'll see the electric lines running over the center of the street, and the bus that just went by was connected to it electrically. Probably to save costs, to cut costs, fuel costs and all that stuff. All right, so we're like a block away from Frankfurt once again. We're actually going to walk towards that terminal that I said I used to wait at when I was a kid to go to Philadelphia Mills. So Philadelphia Mills is a mall. It's not far from here. It's like driving, it's like 15-20 minutes, give or take. But if you wait for the bus, it's probably gonna end up being like a 2-hour trip. Cause you gotta wait for 2 buses. Oh man, they spray painted up somebody's car. All right, so right now we're approaching Griscom. We're at Arrett and Griscom. And this is that bus stop that I said you gotta wait for to get to the Philadelphia Mills. You could probably get to other places, but that's the only one that I've ever used this for. I've only used it to go to Philadelphia Mills, but I'm sure it goes to other areas in the city. All right, so we're back on Frankfurt. This is literally where we came out. We came out on our left-hand side. So instead, I'm going to continue traveling south, and we're going to cross over to the Western Corridor. So right now we're on Frankfurt. Now I'm going to cross over so we can hit the Western Corridor a little bit. Look at that project right there. See all that pink? The Frankfurt Pause. Reimagine, reclaim, rediscover Frankfurt. Let's take a shot of this right here. Bird's eye view. So this is supposed to be a public space. so let's go back on this side. I'm gonna walk down probably like a block or two, and then we'll probably go to like Church. There's a train terminal called Church. I don't think we're far from it. Now again, we could keep on walking numerous blocks westbound this way in this direction, and we can continue to discover more of the Frankfort neighborhood and explore it. But at the moment, we're gonna stay within the vicinity of the L. We're at Meadow, the 1600 block of Meadow. As you can see, through exploring a little bit of the Frankfort neighborhood with me within the last hour or so, there's no one set zoning style of home. There's so many different styles of home. A lot of them very similar, but there's no uniform architectural design that they follow. Like you go to Northeast, a lot of them are uniform. You go to West Philly, depends on what part, a lot of them are uniform. You go to North Philly, even certain blocks like in Hunter Park and all that, a lot of them are uniform. This area, they're all different style. We're approaching Orthodox. We have a Philly Trans school bus over here. I hear somebody bumping music. Sounds like they're listening to traditional reggaeton. Reggae. Like reggae, Rasta reggae. Alright, so over there in that direction is Frankfort. See the train? We'll be approaching Adams shortly. And y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but my mom used to live on Adams too. She used to live on Adams. She used to live on Cottage too. Cottage isn't far from here either. Cottage is around the corner. It's more northeast though. Like right before you hit like Get the Tyson and all that stuff. You got Allen M. Stern Public School on my left-hand side. School's in session. You got kids at recess. You can hear the kids squealing, screaming, playing. The joy of children. Check out this church. Alright, we're approaching Unity Street. We're gonna make this right-hand turn on Unity. Seventh Day Adventist Church, Mizpah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go right over here. We got shade on the left side though. Shade is so much more enticing. I'm gonna cross. Now you can see some trash in some places. Remember earlier, like 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, I'm like, you don't see many particles. You don't see much debris. Nah, you see trash. It just depends on what block. You know, it varies from block to block. Some people maintain their blocks better than others.
That shit.
It's like UFOs. All this shit is correct.
Alright guys, so we're back on Frankford. As you can see the sign, the historic Frankfurt sign. These are all throughout Frankfurt under the L, but they spray painted them. We came from down that direction, but we walked probably a dozen or two, maybe more blocks. So right now we're under the L, but I'm gonna take advantage and walk towards Church Station. And I think since we started this video out on the train, I thought that'd be an interesting start. We can probably end this video on the train. I'm gonna hop on the train, show you guys the little simple process, making the payment. Hopefully the train doesn't take too long to arrive. I could show y'all some L view. I could show y'all some moving train footage, and then we'll be tuning out. Wow, I smelled the amber white, like Muslim oil. I don't know if y'all ever smelled the Muslim oils before, but I smelled the amber white Muslim oil. It was so strong. I remember when I was a kid, Muslim oils was definitely the go-to affordable option. $5 will set you up right. You can smell like some Sex on the Beach, right? Simiyagi. What else? Cool Water. Amber White. What else? What else? What else? What else? What was the other nice smelling Muslim oils? There was a couple other ones. All right, we're passing church. My mom actually used to live right up this block. This block converts to Adams, and she used to live on Adams and Wingerhaken. I don't think that would be considered Wingerhaken, would it? Anyway, right there at Adams. We already reached our hour mark. I usually try to keep these tours at an hour long for viewer retention and file management purposes. But I'll probably give y'all a little bonus segment. Thumbs up for the bonus extendo footage. All right, guys, so we're here waiting for the train. I just scanned my pass. It's $2.50 to ride the train nowadays. We got a train coming right now. So you guys got a chance to see here, when we started off the video, we started off right there. The Frankfort Transportation Center. And if you want to see where Allegheny's at, look at where Allegheny's at. 1, 2, 3, 4 stops away. Alright guys, so our train is here. At least we got some air, because the first train I was on, they have no air. No air. I was hot. I ain't even gonna lie, I was super hot. Torresdale.
Doors are open. 69th Street train in all stops. Doors are closing.
started around
Doors are opening.
Harrogate Park right here
69th Street train.
on Tioga and Kensington Ave.
Doors are closing.
The dude right there got a cocaine bag